La rutina diaria, our daily routine, is something that we talk about a lot. It's what we do in the morning and at night to get ready for either the beginning of the day or the end of the day. And today we're going to talk about what we do when we get back from work or going out or whatnot at the end of the day. Por la noche o por la tarde. Okay. And all the verbs that I'm going to include are reflexive verbs because they are actions that we do to ourselves, and they all end in se. And that's how we can tell if they are reflexive or not. So, and then we're going to conjugate one or two and try them out. Repite. Primero, primer verbo va a ser desvestirse. Desvestirse is to get undressed. Repite. Desvestirse. And to take off an item of clothing, if you're maybe just taking off, like a jacket or whatnot, that is quitarse. Repite, quitarse. Now, to get dressed, okay, if you're getting completely, just getting into your pajamas, getting dressed in that sense, then it would be, and we talked about this in the morning, vestirse. So desvestirse is to get undressed. Vestirse is to get dressed. Repite, vestirse. And vestirse and desvestirse are stem changing verbs. They go either I in the boot. So it'd be me visto, por ejemplo. And then to put on an item of clothing, that is ponerse, just like ponerse to put or to place. Ponerse. Repite, ponerse. Now, we talked about these verbs, but if you like to take a shower in the evening, that would be ducharse, ducharse. O bañarse, to bathe. Repite, bañarse. And during all this, you could use certain verbs such as lavarse. Lavarse is to wash. So lavarse el pelo, lavarse la cara, las manos, lo que sea. And it's always the article after it because the whole point, if you're saying me lavo la cara, we know it's, if I'm saying me lavo la cara, I know it's my own face because of the me. Instead of saying mi cara, it's la. We use articles. El, la, los, o las. Así que repite, lavarse la cara. Las manos. El pelo o cabello. Pelo o cabello. And then finally, you could use verbs such as acostar, the last two, acostarse, which is to physically go to bed. And we know that going to bed and falling asleep are two very different concepts, just like in the morning. Getting up and waking up are two very different things. So to go to bed, repite, acostarse. And then to fall asleep is dormirse. Repite, dormirse. And dormir is used to sleep in general. So if you add the se, that means to fall asleep. And that's the difference between the two. Now they're reflexive. So we have these pronouns that we have to use when we conjugate the verb. And even in sentences where we don't conjugate the verb, if there's a different pronoun. So for instance, lavarse. Let's use lavarse and conjugate it. So the pronouns go with certain verbs. So it's me, te, se, nos, os, se. So it's se in the él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, ustedes forms. So if we're going to take a regular verb such as lavarse, and it still has AR endings, o, as, a, amos, ais, an, it would be, and you don't need the subject pronouns, but we're going to use them for all intents and purposes in this video. That would be yo me lavo. Repite, yo me lavo. Tú te lavas. Él se lava. Nosotros nos lavamos. Vosotros os laváis. Perdón, laváis. I don't use vosotros. And then finally, ellos se lavan. And there you go. So it's me, te, se, nos, os, se. And if we're going to take a stem changing verb, such as acostarse, to go to bed, where it's O-T-U-E in the boot, aka all the forms but the nosotros and vosotros, let's practice that so you get the hang of how stem changing verbs work into this. It would be yo me acuesto. Repite, yo me acuesto. Tú te acuestas. Él se acuesta. Nosotros nos acostamos. Vosotros os acostáis. Ellos se acuestan. And that's how you conjugate them when you have one verb. Now, if you have a sentence saying, I want to go to bed at this time, yo quiero, I could either say, yo me quiero acostar a esta hora. I want to go to bed this time. Yo me quiero acostar a esta hora. Or you can keep at the end of the infinitive, but it changes. It's not se, it's still me because it's yo. Yo quiero acostarme. So, yo me quiero acostar. You put it in front of the conjugated verb, which is quiero, or you can put it at the end of the infinitive. Yo quiero acostarme. I want to go to bed. And that is how you use reflexive verbs in la rutina diaria por la tarde o por la noche, in the evening or at night. And if you have any more questions on not only this, grammar in general, vocab, go to makingspanishsimple.com, where you'll have access to all of my social media and my posts for more tips, whether it's vocab, grammar, what to read, watch, and also where to go travel and use the Spanish that you're learning. Así que hay que ir a makingspanishsimple.com.